Strong Black Super Chemist. I think this is part 4 of What is Feminism. We're talking about modern day feminism because, I explained how feminism in the past has always been about witchcraft, worshiping goddesses, and, destroying everything in society and all this, this stuff like that. And so it's about female supremacy. Let's compare it to modern times, and I gave you some examples. We're on a third example, the WNBA. These people, women in sports, a 14-year-old boy is better than any Olympic woman or, national sports figure that's a female. Okay, we proved it, with the soccer and a couple other sports or whatever, where they have literally the national teams that are women, or Olympic medal, women, right, against 14-year-old boys, okay, that are just in regular, I'm sure they're probably on a team, you know what I mean? They're on a team, yeah, they're on a team. But they're not like the best, they're 14, you know what I mean? And they beat the women, like, beat them down. Like, there have been, like, 20 games between 14-year-olds and the best of the world has to offer of women and soccer players. And out of those 20 games, they maybe scored 3 times. Maybe. I know they scored at least twice out of 20 games. They just got totally massacred. They can't even score in 20 games pretty much. You know what I mean? Against 14-year-old little boys. Okay? Do we pay little boys the same way as we pay NBA players and NFL players and all these? No, we don't. Because they're garbage. Okay? A 14-year-old boy is garbage compared to a grown man that is in a national, or global, meaning the Olympics. If they're up to that height, a 14-year-old boy is garbage. Okay? It's like a 3-year-old. Okay? Women are like 14-year-old boys when they're at the top of their levels. And yet they want the same money as the NBA and the this and that, all the male counterparts. That doesn't even make any sense, man. Just like the NBA, right? And the WNBA. The WNBA literally makes $0 per year. Okay? The men's team makes like, I don't know, $2 billion a year? I'm just really guessing, but it's somewhere around $2 billion, I guess, right? Maybe $1.5 billion. They cover all the women. It's like welfare, you know what I mean? The women, like, there would be no WNBA if there was no NBA, because the NBA supports, it's just like it's a welfare. All those women that are WNBA, they are welfare players. They're getting paid by welfare. They're not getting paid because their sport has people come in and they buy tickets and blah, 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 blah. No, they lose money doing that, okay? They'd have to all work for free. All the WNBA players would have to work for free if they, if they didn't want to be a welfare team. They actually wanted to make a profit instead of losing money every single year. You lose money. Can you imagine having like little 14-year-old boys in a whatever that is, junior high, I guess, and they're complaining and they're suing. They're going to sue the NBA. We need to get paid as much as the NBA players. We're better because we're better than the women teams, and they'd say we're better than the WNBA, and they think they can get paid as much as them. If they can get paid, we're better than them. We should definitely get paid as much as the NBA. Like, that's not about equality, man. That's not equality, man. And the last example I'll give you is like a bricklayer or construction worker or a stacker. Like I said, I used to be a stacker in a factory. They'd have the bags fill up and they'd sew the bag, and I would fluff it out and put it on a pallet. Right? I stacked along the stacker. These women, usually they get paid more, first of all, on top of it, okay? even though they don't even deserve to get equal pay, right? But you have a man who will work 8 hours a day, say stacking up these bags, they do 45 pallets a day, right? A woman can't do 45 pallets a day. And so she does 10 pallets a day, or no, 45, let's say she does 25 pallets a day, okay, compared to 45. If that was a man, he wouldn't get paid as much as this 45 pallet a day guy. No, the 25 pallets a day will not be getting paid. But what are women? Women get paid. Not only do they get paid as much, in some cases, in most cases, they get paid more. Even though they're literally hurting the company, because 25 pallets is garbage. If you're, if you can do 45, 25 is like a joke, man. You might as well not even come in. I could literally do 45 pallets on my line and go over to another line. If it's 10 feet or 15 feet apart, I could go over and do the woman's job and do 25 pallets easy, and the 45. I mean, not easily, actually. It wouldn't be easy. Yeah, but I could do it. Yeah, that's the only time I got here. Oh, a lot of time. So, that's not equality, right? If you have two bricklayers and this bricklayer can do twice as much bricklaying than this woman, but yet they get paid the same, because if not, they'll scream, it's just not equality. This isn't equality. We're both doing the same job. No, he's doing twice what you're doing, but you somehow think that you should get paid the same. Just like these actors now. You'll see these interviews, on YouTube, and they'll ask, well, should this woman who's a nobody, right? They'll mention, she isn't getting paid as much as Brad Pitt in this movie. Brad Pitt, who brings in, he's known, bringing in a lot of money from his movies. And a nobody woman, and the woman would be like, yeah, they should get paid the same because they're both doing the same thing. They're both acting. She's a lead role and he's a lead role. They're doing it just as much work. That isn't equality, man. Equality is he brings in more money, so he gets paid more. The NBA brings in a lot of money. They should get paid more. That's equality. Women ain't doing anything in the WBA. They shouldn't get paid. That's equality. Not, just because we're women, we should get paid the same. That's female supremacy, man. That's what modern feminism is. And you think that it's not about a religious thing, and it's not about goddess, worshiping a goddess, and ripping down all other religions. No, you think it's not? Their racism against men, the male gender, totally consumes everything about them, man. The first feminine book in America. I don't know if it was the first one in America. It could have been, who knows. But in America in the 1700s, one of the ones that are known for being one of the first ones, the cover on the book has a man on the ground, laying on the ground, right? And there's a woman standing up on above him, and she has her one foot on his head, right? He's on the ground, facing towards, outside, facing away from the book cover. She's standing on his head, and she's either like this, or she's like this. I can't remember how she's posed, but she has two weapons. She has weapons in both hands, right? Standing over a man, putting her foot on his head while he's on the ground. This is not about female supremacy, really? And the woman that's doing that isn't a woman. She's not human. She's, I wish I could remember. She's a goddess. She's a literal god, a female god that they worship. That the woman that wrote the book, she worships that. She's a witch. She worships this woman, female, whatever. And you say it's not about goddesses and religion. Why do you think they tricked all the women into calling each other goddess? Oh, I'm a goddess. Oh, I'm a goddess. Oh, you go goddess, This, and that brings me to queen, that thing queen, where everyone wants to call themselves kings and queens. A queen and a king is an entitled dictator, you idiots. We're Americans. We take kings and queens, yeah? Yeah, we take their heads and we chop them off and we put them on pikes. Why are you calling yourselves kings and queens? I'm just curious, is the deep state trying to normalize a monarchy because they want to come out of the closet? Because the deep state is just basically is royalty. Every president, and 86% of our president or vice president in the last, since George Washington, has been related to King Edward I. Goes all the way back to King Edward I in the 1300s. They're all related. Every president and vice president, 86% of the time. In the whole history of our country. So they're all royal. George Bush, Obama, Cheney, they're all related. Jimmy Carter, Gerald Ford, Nixon, they're all related. Roosevelt, all the Roosevelts, related. George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, they're all related. Is this a way to just normalize it? Like they're normalizing, calling each other goddess. Did you ever notice that a lot of these women that are feminists, they're all Wiccans. They always believe in crystals and astrology. And it's always some weird religious thing. I believe in nature, and because nature is a goddess, a female god. Really? It has nothing to do with religion. And it's changed, huh? Feminism today isn't the same. It's not female supremacy, huh? It's about equality. It doesn't seem like it is today or back in the past. It seems like it was never about equality. It was always about female supremacy. Why are women Wiccans and witches a lot today? Because feminism was created by self-proclaimed witches, and it's why do they call themselves goddesses? Because it's based on worshipping a female god, a goddess. And remember this. This is just off topic, but if you treat a woman like a woman, if you treat a woman like a queen, she acts like a queen. And if you treat a woman like a wife, guess what she acts like? A wife. All right? And you know what a queen is? It's an entitled dictator who was born into their job of queen just by the mere act of being born. That's how entitled they are. Okay, I talked about that. Like I said, wokeism, feminism, communism, wokeism and communism are the same exact thing. But feminism is very similar to it. And they're all religious oriented. And they're all pushing some type of racism, whether it's racism on skin color, gender. It's disgusting, man. It's just a way to divide us. And I wanted to bring this up too, because remember I said they infiltrated the colleges first with woman studies and teaching feminism in the colleges, and then the teachers that got taught in those colleges went out to get jobs as public school teachers. You know what I mean? And that's how. Like I always think that it always starts in the public schools, but if you think about it, there. I don't want to say millions, but there are thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of public schools. Colleges, there aren't that many. Relative to public schools, you know what I mean? Colleges are very small amount compared to public schools. It'd be a lot easier to get a hold of, not infiltrate them, but get a hold of their administration and control administration on what things are taught, who has to take those classes. So I'm sure they made it so that it was mandatory that you have to take feminist classes, women study classes to be a public school teacher. You know what I mean? That's how they did it. But that's how they did it with the communism too. Right? The CCP. How'd they get control of our colleges? They started giving us $500 million a year. Not $500 million every year, but on average, $500 million every year to our colleges. And then they got their communism taught to the teachers that were going to go out into the public schools. It didn't start out in the public schools. It started in the colleges.